So, continuing in Language Thinks on the idea of phrases, we're now going to look at the way that we can use combinations of words to generate a conceptual understanding or to start to stimulate pre-existing conceptual understanding, and using that in order to then start to compose a response. In specifically, we might be looking at the types of responses that you would use, the types of paragraphs that you would use in an analytical or essay type response. I normally call the first sentence in these paragraphs a concept statement, but you might call them topic sentences or just simply statements or a point, depending on which acronym you use for your paragraph construction. So quite often what I find is that you've done all of this work in class, preparing students, helping them to understand the text, developing their understanding of all the concepts, and then you get to the point where they need to write a response about it. And you know they've got everything they need in order to write this response, but they just look at you blankly and they say, I don't know what to write. And for a teacher, that can be infuriating, because you know that they know, you've been through all of this, and you know that if you prompt them, you'll get it out of them. But this is a way to help them to sort of do that prompting themselves so that they start to become a little bit more independent. Just as we did with the combining adjectives and nouns, we're going to have to sort of approach this in that positive frame of mind where the combinations are likely to be true. It's not so much the case in this one, and you'll see why, but we still need to come at it with this positive. Rather than dismissing something immediately, we have to look at it as being a possible answer. So the first thing that we do is we start with the rubric, obviously. Now we're all familiar with the area of study, but discovery, but it can be any rubric or any unit of work. And then we take out the key concepts. So I've made a list of those here. Then we add some of those verbs that we like them to use, those quite powerful verbs. So things like creates, destroys, challenges, provokes, so on and so forth. We then take one concept, we add one verb, and then we take a second concept, and then we have what's called a concept statement, or a concept equation, concept statement equation. So you can see how it works here. It's pretty simple, really. So to begin with, I'm going to say, so down the left, I've got all of the concepts from that rubric. In the middle, I've got all of the verbs, and on the right I've got again a list of concepts, basically the same concepts that are on the left, just in a different order. So let's have a look. So this concept statement equation gives me concealments stimulate curiosity. To me, that makes perfect sense, that if you hide something, people are going to want to find out what you're hiding. Assumptions limit understanding. Again, makes perfect sense. If you're going to make assumptions about something, say whether or not something works, you're going to limit your ability to understand how that works. That might be the same as in the way that you deal with other people. So the assumptions that you make about a person can limit your understanding of that person's reasons or that person's motivations. And finally, experiences provoke speculation. A new experience, something happens to you that provokes you to wonder why it happened to you, how you could make it happen again, how you could stop it from happening again, whether or not it happens to other people. Again, a fairly simple sentence. So once you've got these statement equations, the next step is then to develop that, and to develop it into something that's far more meaty, I guess you might say, that can be turned into then a paragraph. So this is just the bare bones, the skeleton. So the next thing that you need to do is you take this concept statement. So I've got the one, experiences provoke speculation, and you probe for detail, which is pretty simple. Basically, you just, for each of those words, you go, all right, so experiences, what kind of experiences? Speculation about what? Answer those. And we've got Unexpected experiences provoke speculation about the possibility of new discoveries. There you go, you've got a nice first sentence for your paragraph about discoveries. Next, you then test that hypothesis against the text and find evidence to prove it. So hopefully this is a nice simple way and a systematic way for students to start to take what they do know and turn that into a response.